Hey everyone, this is Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast. Okay, today in this episode, we're going to be talking about something that everybody asked me about: new ways of doing product research and launches in 2022. So we're going to find out what are some of the keys to proper product research. We're going to discuss new strategies for a successful launch. And we're going to be also talking about new channel opportunities for sellers. All right, so welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast. Kelsey, hit the music.
Lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm.
All right, like I said, we're going to be talking about new ways of doing product research and launches in 2022. Our guest, first-time guest on the show, she started her Amazon journey as a seller in the EU market. She made her way through North America and launched a 3PL brand that changed her life. And that was the birth of AZ Rank. They help Amazon sellers along every stage of their business with customized ranking, launch services, and much more. She's run thousands of product launches over 3 years and helped thousands of sellers do better on Amazon and Walmart. Please welcome our guest, Alina Vlaic. And Alina, you're going to have to tell me how to say that. Too many consonants in your last name. But anyways, Kelsey, where's the sponsor? As you know, at Lunch with Norm, bigger is always better. Bigger business, bigger profits, and yes, bigger lunches. Z wants to make sure that your business and profits are bigger by taking you and your business international. They are a one-stop importer of record shop, including compliance and logistics services. They focus on all the elements involved in a smooth first-time custom clearance so that you can focus on what you're good at: selling. Click on the screen now or follow the link in the description box below and get 50% off your first shipment today. Boy Wonder, where are you?
It's me. Hello.
How's it going?
How are you? Good. I'm
Good,
doing
good.
fantastic. How are you?
Well, I guess you're coming over on Easter, right?
That is right. And I am bringing some
I
reinforcements
can't wait
too.
for you to do your little Easter egg hunt with your brothers. We'll have a video and it'll just be like it was back in the old days.
It's going to be very
Your
cute.
little basket
We're gonna all dress up, put our
Yep.
little bunny ears
And
on.
by the way,
Uh-huh.
do you still that bunny the bunny that was in your room with the purple vest that you were talking to me
Yeah.
about that 1 year, still think that was real, or just wondering?
I know what I saw. I know what I
Okay.
saw, and I'm sticking with it.
The white bunny with the purple vest, which was kind of interesting. Anyways, and those bunnies, by the way, are now available on Amazon. Kelsey sells them. Got anything
All
to
right.
say?
Let's just move on. I'm gonna just keep on pushing forward, and we're going to talk about smashing those like buttons, giving us a thumbs up. Let us know if you're enjoying the show. We've got a great topic and a great guest today. So this is going to be a fantastic show. If you have any questions at all, this is live, so ask away in the comment sections. Don't worry about if you think you sound stupid. There's beginners, intermediate, advanced sellers all watching today, so don't worry. Feel free to add your questions in there. We're going to be answering them on the second half of the half of the show. And so also welcome Rad. We've got a Facebook user. Old School is already entering the Wheel of Kelsey, which we have a giveaway that's worth over $500. So just stick around, don't go anywhere, and we're going to explain exactly what that giveaway is today. We've got Manny from Germany, Tony from Canada, and we've got 204 Farid. So good to see everyone. And let us know how your weekend was. I'll be in the comment sections in the chat. Welcome, Simon and Andy, too. Happy Monday, and we can get started.
All right, fantastic. So yeah, like Kelsey was saying, if you do have questions or comments, throw them over into the comment section and we will get back to it. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy the episode. Welcome, Alina.
Hi.
Hello. Okay. How do I say your last name?
Vlaic.
Vlaic, like kite. Vlaic.
Yes, yes, like with
Okay.
a P.
I
It's
will never forget that. I'll never. Kelsey, go back and edit what I said at the beginning, and we'll just insert that, right? We'll call
no,
that a Frankenbit. I think that's what it's called, a Frankenbite, when you just insert a sound snippet over something. Anyways, welcome to the podcast. I know, like, we had a chance a few times this year, finally, to sit down and talk. And I mean, you've done an amazing job. And considering that you haven't been involved with Amazon that long, have you?
no, not that long, and not my main focus as a business, because we have multiple businesses in several areas. We have one here in Romania, which we have been running, me and my husband, for 17 years. We have then the Amazon selling, the AZ rank business. So it's trying to to get them all line up into the right direction. But as you said, it's not been it hasn't been my main focus. So only a couple of years. Started in Europe. So slow.
All right. Well, very good. So I'm just looking at a comment that came through, and I want to just talk about this so people don't think that you need to run and hide. So rebates. Okay.
Magic word of
The
2022.
magic word. So I'm not sure who. Well, I can't even really read the person's name. 204 Frayed came up, and this, I knew this was going to come up today, but there are a lot of companies out there, some good, bad,
Yes.
and ugly, that were doing rebates for people. You were one of them. You did rebates. How has it changed now?
Well, it's changed a lot. Should I touch Farid's questions or question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about that, because
It's important.
Yeah, it's very important.
So, from my best knowledge, anyone please contradict me if I'm wrong. This thing about suing companies that Amazon has declared, and it has been going on for a while, so it's not new, it's nothing new. It has to do with reviews. That's what Amazon has been focusing on. I think since 2017 was the last big major
Right. November,
impact.
I got nailed bad.
I think everyone got nailed, because up to that day, Amazon was allowing, like, you could literally give away 1,000 products, get 1,000 reviews, and Amazon be totally fine with that. And the next day, you weren't. So it's kind of impossible not to get nailed. The problem is, right now, they have been focusing on fake reviews for a while now. The thing that we haven't done with AZ Rank, and in my opinion, is one of the things that keeps us, and that I'm still here talking to you right now, is the fact that we've stayed away from reviews. The problem is, I have always recommended new sellers, especially new sellers, don't go get 20 rebates with 15 reviews, or 20 rebates with 20 reviews. Some of the gurus out there recommended, because that was like a tremendously high, not talking about conversion rate and stuff like that, but just the review rate would immediately raise flags. On top of that, a lot of people were allowing agencies, third-party contractors, I don't know how to call them, just placing their products, their newly launched products or brands, up in public places all over the internet, so that everyone can see, can tell what's happening in there. Some of them were still giving 99% off, some of them just full rebate, some of them whatever their brand decision was. But that, I think, was another issue with this going too public. And third of all, this is my personal opinion. I don't know if anyone is shares this with me. I think last year, when a very big um, increase of sellers using automated Google links. You know, those Google links that they were very good, working
Yeah.
very well for ranking. The moment some tools started to automate them and people were using them very, very, very much, there are links like any super URL, like any type of link, they leave tracks. So they left too many tracks.
Right.
All in this together, I think led to that change of TOS, and probably more that we don't know and will probably never know in Amazon. But the thing is, yes, since starting November 26th, the TOS has changed. Of course, the language inside is very broad. Of course, there's a different TOS. I don't know if many people know this, but there's a different TOS to different marketplaces. Canada, for example, is the most complex of them all, even more than
course.
US. Yeah. European ones aren't that complex, and so on. So they're keeping them separate.
But the main thing is to read the TOS so you understand it. And one of the people that I really love hearing is Chris McCabe. He no bull. He knows the stuff. He worked at Amazon. He was the guy that kind of routed all those emails, Jeff at Amazon.com. He was that guy. And those emails would come to his group and he would just kind of put it to wherever. Guy knows his stuff. And he was saying, and I think this is true, with Amazon, there is no gray. When we hear about, it's possibly gray, it's beige hat, it's black or it's white. However, and this is my opinion, what I've seen is Amazon take a stance once either there's a lawsuit or once something happens that gets to their attention, and all of a sudden, like incentive reviews back in 2017, I remember it well, 3,000 review. I was doing it. Hypothetically, maybe I was doing it. But anyways, 3,000 reviews were taken off my Dead Sea soap overnight. They're gone. And I paid a lot for that. It's almost $10 a review. So it was done back then. People talked about it. People talked about it in the network groups. But like when you're talking about rebates, you can have a 90% coupon right in Amazon. You can have a digital coupon that's going to give people value, like 50% off, 60% off, whatever you want to do to have these sales velocities, if you want to do that. There's lots of ways to do that. You can get reviews through the Vine program. There are ways of doing this. And, when I hear that you can't do giveaways or you can't do, yes, you can. You can absolutely do it. But like you said, too, the last thing you want to do is have a product like from an influencer and all of a sudden they said they got a product for free or something.
And they left a good review.
And they leave a review. You're done. I mean, you could be done. Stick a fork in me, done. So I think we've touched on this enough. There are services that are just doing these reviews, and I call them, they're almost factory services. They're a group, they're free, and you give them the product and they give you a review, or, they target certain sales keywords using a super URL that doesn't work anymore. So anyways, that's not what we're talking about today.
No.
We're talking more about different channels to market on, how we are marketing on Amazon a little bit differently. And I just want to start off by, if you need reviews, there's plenty of ways to do it. I haven't done this for years, go to family and friends.
Me neither.
Never, ever. But I will use the Vine program. We're doing it today on a couple of products. Vandana, everybody knows Vandana on this podcast. Her job today is, making sure that we get some reviews there, but legit reviews. So
also the request a review button works very well.
Absolutely.
If you're getting sales, you're getting reviews. That's for sure.
You can go and, I could ask my VA, or I can go in myself and go into manage orders, request a review. But even then, why wouldn't you use an app like Sellerize, for example, or Helium 10s, or whoever's out there, Feedback with whatever whatever app will go in and allow you to have a better looking email that's going to be different from the emails that are sent on a regular basis. Because I don't know about you, I ignore those generic emails that come in from Amazon. I don't even look at. I buy bloody light bulbs off of Amazon. I mean, I don't want to have rate the light bulb, and there's just too many of them now. But if something catches my eye, I like it. Plus, it has some information that I need, maybe some instructions or the ingredients or something like that, some video link. I'm going to look at it. So that's a really great point, Alina. But okay, what else?
Where were we? We touched so many.
We went all over the place. We went down 20 or 30 different rabbit holes in that one.
Okay.
And thank you, Freud, for starting off the podcast that way.
Yeah. So let's getting back to the rebate stuff. There is no. I still think there is a little bit of gray, in my opinion. We can argue about this.
Absolutely,
maybe.
That's what this is for.
Yes, but depends, I think, on everyone's risk tolerance at the end of the day, and how they see it and how they interpret it. We were talking about the TOS and how broad it is. Of course,
Yes.
It's broad. Amazon wants it to be broad. It does. I don't even. Does it say the word rebates? I think it says the words rebates, but it doesn't say. It says keyword search term manipulation also.
Right. Yep.
But it doesn't say search find buy. It's only that moderator post back in the day said search find buy. So they left it like that. Now, if you ask me, even PPC is search find buy, right? Because you target a keyword, people searching it, you're paying a bid for it so that Amazon shows you. I think all of this is what the place I wanted to get to is ranking in 2022 has transformed into contextual ranking. It has been like this, but now it's even more. You cannot just do one thing. That's a thing I have always preached since day one. You don't do just giveaways, not when giveaways were like very easy to do. You don't do just PPC, because I don't know, I'm sure you know this, like the bids are crazy right now because everybody's launching with most of them using 99% PPC. But if you do a little bit of PPC, a little bit of our surveys, for example, with a little bit of Google Ads, not to pay an arm and a leg, but just a little bit of everything, like PPC, external traffic, internal Amazon things that we do. And we're not doing rebates, by the way. I can explain that later if you want me to. Sure. That will help you tremendously get a good, decent product launch. And it will help you enough to stick there, to start selling, because you cannot get rich out of a product launch overnight.
I forget who I was talking to about this, but a lot of people talk about, building that list. You have an insert, you build your list, and it's not a terrible thing to, like, there's so many people that say, oh yeah, it's your own customer and now you have your sales on your site. I don't know about that. It's okay. But if I've got a new product that I'm launching on Amazon and I have people that really like my product and they bought it on Amazon, why don't I just drive that traffic over to Amazon during my product launch and get them to buy the product? I mean, first of all, we already know that they're going to buy it. They're probably going to buy it at full price or just a small discount.
Yes.
And you're going to have the sales velocity to drive up your BSR when you do the product launch. So, I mean, that's something that we look at. And also, gosh, this is going back, but one of these like I've always liked Mike McClary with ASM, the Amazing Selling Machine back in the day. Yeah, I think it was 2015. I was watching him on stage talking about his traffic blitz, and how he approached launches. That hasn't changed today. And you nailed it. Like if you're using one technique, and I know that there are sellers that just use a technique, and that's fine. But I've always been a traffic blitz person. I want traffic coming in from social. I want to now with customer experience, you can go and target your followers or repeat customers. These are all things that could come in to your 2022 launch.
Exactly. Yes. It's something that we must do because Amazon is changing so much. I mean, when I look now, I mean, you've been in the business like 10
Don't
times
say
more.
it.
I won't. 10 times more than me. But even if you compare like last year to this year or 2 years ago, it's getting so much more difficult and so much more complex, which I think is also good but bad for or I don't know, a little bit maybe disappointing for some of the new sellers. But you just need to learn. I think you just need to learn, to experiment, and to I don't know, try to I'm missing the English word. Try to stay like on top of things, but be real. Like don't
Right.
expect the unexpected to happen overnight. That's the way I see it.
And that's something, that's another thing. It sounds kind of hokey, but if you just go into the Facebook groups and listen and learn, like I am constantly going in and out of Facebook groups and seeing new things that are happening. And that keeps me on top of things. I am always if you want to know what's happening with Amazon, just sign into your Seller Central account and look at the news for the day.
Yeah.
You'll learn so much information just from that, but just staying on top of it. And that's one of the first things that I would tell people to do if they're just getting into Amazon.
Have you seen what they done today with the variations?
What?
I was looking this morning and, like you open a listing and you have the picture and you have the title, and right beneath it was like 10 pack, 20 pack, 30 pack with photos. Now they're only like small dots and you have to scroll. So all that space is now filled with bullet points. So no variation is visible, only if you like scroll it, which is not that good for people with variations.
Now they're always changing
there in that page.
Well, we always say you have to be resilient to be an Amazon seller. So, I mean, all you have to do every time they change, everything they do, you have to see the good and the bad and kind of, play around, experiment. That's the easiest thing to say. Now, I want to touch on another thing.
Yes.
And that's, do you do anything different with your product research right now?
Yes, we do. I do.
Okay.
It's recent. It's new.
Yep.
I found a way. I'm trying it right now, but it seems to work like really, really well. I found a way to implement our surveys that we do for ranking into product research. And that is how, for example, you are launching another Dead Sea salt tomorrow, next month, and you want to know what's happening with your competition nowadays, because you can only see their listings, what's in the Amazon, but it's kind of difficult for people to actually order 100 or even 10 products from 10 different competitors, especially if they're not located in the US. So I'm having our people, our community of buyers, purchasing the competition products and giving feedback on the listings and feedback afterwards on the product. Whatever the seller wants whatever the product is about, because it's not like standard question, how's the packaging? It needs to be customized. And that's how I got like really good information about what's happening with some really tiny details that you cannot see on the listing, like their insert cards, or like their I don't know, quality of the cardboard from their packaging, or the poly bags, or whatever stuff that you cannot see from the pictures.
Yeah,
And
even
it's
even their follow-up sequence, or what they're doing to
exactly
maintain.
because
Yeah.
you're getting into that. So I'm putting that into a service right now, and we're actually doing them for our launches and for the rankings. So every seller gets feedback from our people, first of all, about the listing.
Okay.
And there was some very interesting stuff like there. For example, there's a question about photos. Like,
Yep.
is there a different photo on the listing which you like better than the current main one, or a photo that would stop you from scrolling? And it's amazing how many campaigns we have when you see like photo number 5. That's a first thing to change. For example, when it's a minor detail that can help you like increase your sales 10% or 20% from what you're doing right now.
So if I use that service, which I learned about it just a few minutes ago.
The product, we're talking about the product research, right?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
a sec. Now, once I get all this information and you provide it back, and I'm just trying to visualize it because I've not used the service, but you get the information, you learn all this interesting stuff. You talk, maybe you get information back about the inserts, but the different images. Then do you see people using a company like PickFu and saying, "Oh, I got this information about these 3 competitors. They've got, this type of photo. Here's my photo, and here's 2 other photos I came up with." And then you can start even drilling in further to get even better optimization. Is that
Exactly.
something that you've seen?
Not a lot, but I've talked to people about this with the same idea in mind. I don't know if anybody has been has actually implemented it, but I know I talked about PickFu, and also there's inside Amazon manage your experiments
Oh, yeah.
section
Yeah.
called that. Anybody can use that as long as you have brand registry, like a first step. I know it takes a little bit longer, you need to wait like 3 weeks or so, but it's there, you can use it for free. And then of course PickFu would be a great option. So
Yep.
to answer your question, no, I don't know anybody, but it's a great idea, it's a great thing to do after
Well, thank
that.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Should have Anthony thank you for that.
Okay. We have a really great giveaway today. And Alina, why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
Yes. So I thought of offering 100% no fees campaign. Can be either on product research or can be for ranking. So that would be like 50 surveys on whatever part of the game you are in, either product research for a new product or for ranking, launching a product. Can be Amazon, but I'm just thinking about this right now. Can be Walmart if you want to, can be Etsy, can be whatever other marketplace you want to, because we do that as well. And this means basically all you have to do is pay the product cost. And if you're gonna allow me just for 2 tiny minutes to explain people how come I still ask them to pay for the product cost, but I'm not doing the rebate. So just to make it clear, the workaround we found for this to happen is I am not giving the people a rebate for the product they purchased, but I am paying them as an individual contractor, each of the buyers. We are paying them for the work they did with the surveys, because they provide a lot of information for that. So we transform that into a paycheck, basically, but it will be as the value of your product, with coupon, without coupon, whatever you decide.
That's
So,
an interesting concept.
yes, I think so. Thank you.
Now, if you're interested in that, we're also going to top this up a little bit with a month of Private Label Legion or the Centurion League. That's $199 value. So this is a $700 value you will be receiving today. So it's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people, and you'll be entered twice. Okay.
I also want to mention everyone can get 15% off. So this is for all of the listeners. They can get 15% off if they start a campaign with AZ Rank before the end of April. So all you have to do is just mention Lunch with Norm, and you can get that 15% off. And I'm going to be posting a comment here just so everyone can see. And yeah.
Okay. Now, let's get back to product launches. What are sellers doing wrong right now that could cost them, dollars in their jeans?
Focusing too much on PPC because it's gotten real expensive. What else? I think that's the major one. But I could also add what I mentioned before, just a little bit of that budget. If let's say if you're spending $100 per day in whatever advertising you want to do for your product launch, if you take like 20% of that from PPC and move it to a little bit of Google Ads, or I don't know, whatever is more appropriate for your product, maybe Pinterest ads would be better, or maybe Instagram or Facebook. It's kind of broad, so I would usually recommend that as a later option. If you're taking that and moving to a different source of external traffic, I think that's a really good thing to do, because you basically take only 20% off, but you're doubling your not your views, you're doubling your traffic sources. So instead of 1, now you have 2, which is very important nowadays in the Amazon space. Also, not thinking a little bit longer, like, okay, I have a 4 to 6 weeks honeymoon period, I'm gonna do this and that, and I'm gonna spend like $1,000 in PPC, and that's it. $2,000, it's all my product launch and launch budget, and you might get into a position when it's finished after 1 week, maybe, because it's, I don't know, high season or stuff like that. So I would be very careful with that planning, and also not go very aggressive. This is a thing, I don't know, maybe a lot of people will disagree with me. I even disagree with me sometimes as a business owner, but as an Amazon seller, I totally agree with me. Don't go high on day 1. I mean, yes, target keywords in PPC, do surveys, go to Google Ads, but don't only look at your main keyword or top 3 main keywords in your niche or for your product. Look at the first 20 keywords, which are lower, but you can find like some very great conversion rates on those keywords, which will bring you a lot more money and a lot more sales than the main ones where everyone is fighting on those. So I always recommend start with the lower ones, long tail, whatever, smaller keywords, more relevant to your products. I think this is actually the normal thing to do, even in Amazon's eyes. Like, start slow and then build it up and go get a couple of reviews from Vine, from ask a review button, and then go fight with the big fishes on page 1.
Yeah, that's some good advice. And, when I was at Prosper, I was on a panel and we talked about apps that could help you out. But my topic was more on internal tools. And Amazon's come out with some really great internal tools to help you grow, starting with under inventory. I believe it's called listing optimization tool. It might be different, but it tells you what you need to do to
For your
optimize your listing. And there's another tool in there that nobody's really using. It's a managed product document tool where you can upload all your certifications or
Yes.
your
Instructions.
FAQs, instructions, which set you apart from people. And then you've got growth opportunities, and you just click on it and it says, oh, if you add a video, you can expect another $2,300 a month. They tell you.
Yeah.
And the best, when I take a look at, going into, as long as you're brand registered and you're going into brand analytics, look in your search terms. They'll tell you your wasted search terms, or if you want to add some search terms. Brand analytics by itself is a great tool. I'm not going to get into it today. I mean, that could be a whole podcast on its own.
Oh yeah.
But
or the Opportunity Explorer. Sorry for interrupting.
The Opportunity Explorer.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And then even within, you've got experiments, you've got customer experience, which is going to help you out. They've got Amazon Post, Amazon Live, which is going to help you build followers. And the one that I am falling in love with right now is the referral program. So we've gone and we're doing way more external traffic because we know Amazon wants external traffic. We're putting in, you have to, if you don't know this, if you're new to Amazon, you have to have brand registry. You have to enroll in the attribution program. And then that attribution tag will be set up for each campaign that you do. But guess what? You can get 15%, you could get 10%, you could get more. It depends on your category. It's a credit against the fees that you'd be paying in Amazon. So by advertising externally on a product launch or, on a regular basis, Amazon's rewarding you. So sorry, I'm just going off on a tangent here, but I really love what they're doing. Right.
Yes.
Okay, now that I've spoken my mind. You're also you've also talked about going into other channels. So a lot of Amazon sellers are focusing on Amazon, especially 2 years ago. It was I'm just focusing on Amazon. What are your thoughts on breaking out and which channels we should be looking at?
Well, right now, Walmart is the next gem out there, which has an amazing growth, and I think 2 years from now will be huge, really huge. That would be number one. Number two, for the products that are compatible with this marketplace, I would say Etsy. I've seen some amazing results on Etsy, some amazing sales, I couldn't believe it. But yes, people are making a ton of money on Etsy. It's not difficult. Their advertising is so cheap. Just be careful. All you need to have is good photos, good product, of course, and the product to be compatible with their requests for selling on Etsy. Shopify is a thing again, but I think this is me again. Maybe not everyone will agree with me. I would go there after my brand is really established and launch a Shopify website, at least 10 products, 15, stuff like that. If I just have 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know, 1 or 2 years in the business, I would focus more on Walmart or Newegg. I heard a lot of good stuff about Newegg lately. They were with electronics, and now they're marketplace with all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
eBay and Target are a little bit lower amongst Amazon sellers from what I'm seeing, but still there are people going there. So eBay and Target will be also on the list. Chewy, if you have dog products, and then the list goes on.
Yeah, and there's also some really cool wholesale sites like Fair,
Oh yeah, fair.
Faire. You know, you can get some extra income coming in that way or extra revenue, and also Wayfair. I've got a client who had some pretty amazing results working with Wayfair. So, and you know what? You said eBay, and probably 9 out of 10 people listening probably say or remember the age of oh, it was great, oh, it sucks, and they got out of eBay. eBay's really working hard to work with brands and build brands. So I wouldn't throw them off to the side. Check it out. I've tried to get them on the podcast. They won't even return a call, but I'm trying. I mean, there's a great opportunity there, and I really like to bring it out to show you how it's not the eBay of the old. So anyways, just think of it. If you've got a brand and it fits in, it doesn't have to be a discounted brand. It could be a higher brand, like a cosmetic or a beauty product or camping, you know, anything. Check it out. It could throw a couple extra, even if it's 5% more or 10% more, it all works out. Oh, and by the way, with Shopify, this happens a lot. I mean, you do have the ones that are just home run hitters and people just love the products on Shopify, like off your eCommerce. So it could be a WooCommerce, it could be Big Commerce, it could be anything. But let's just say Shopify. You have to consider you've got to find those customers. It's not a captivated audience like Amazon. Now you can have those inserts and drive them over, and there's all sorts of, we've got tons of podcasts on how to do that and how to build your client list. But just keep in mind that Shopify, you know, if you think getting people to buy your product on Amazon can be difficult, you really have to dig into it on Shopify if you're using that model. So just a thought.
Totally agree with you. And that costs money.
Yeah.
Way more than on Amazon.
Right. Okay. So, you know, we have a few minutes to go. We're going to answer a few questions, but I want to go back. Like if you've got a product launch horror story, let us know what it was. Just give us a comment. And if you do have any questions about product launch in 2022, throw them in the comment section, and we will be going to the Wheel of Kelsey in a few minutes. But I see that we do have a few questions here, Kels.
Yes, that's right. We can go into them. So I asked the audience what their biggest struggle is with product launches, and from Ibrahim, he was saying, my biggest problem is going out of stock. Is there any way of predicting and planning inventory that you can help us with?
This is for me or for Norm? I think this is for Norm.
For both. Norm, if you have any.
I just feel like I was talking too much. So if do you have anything you want to say about this? I can talk and talk.
I think predicting and planning inventory has always been an issue, but in the last couple of years has been like double or triple an issue that it was before. I don't have any magic solutions. I still have spreadsheets doubling tools and trying to keep everything under control. And I still have surprises like, I don't know, container got stuck in port, or it was supposed to be on sea and it hasn't even left the warehouse and stuff like that. Things that are out of our control. So except of ordering more, but that's also an issue because it costs a lot of money. I don't have any magic stuff to help you with. In terms of ranking and relaunching, the way I call it, relaunching after being out of stock, 95% of the situations, maybe more, it works out. We can get it back, but it takes longer and you need to be patient because it's not like the honeymoon isn't there anymore.
Right.
It needs a lot of time, needs a little bit more money into the PPC and external traffic, but altogether, it works eventually.
Yeah. And Kels, can you put in, who did we just have on that had a really great spreadsheet on forecasting inventory. Anyways, you can go on. I forget who it is. Kelsey will put it up in a second. But also SoStock. So SoStock.com also has a forecasting tool built into their app, which is kind of cool. But I can give you a way that we work on it. So if we're doing an initial launch, we already know we're going in with 2 feet. Now, a lot of people might not do this. They just might do 100 units or 250 units to test the waters. If we think that during the initial launch, we'll need 2,000 units, what'll end up happening is that, and there's all sorts of negotiating tools that you can do with your supplier. But let's just talk about getting the stock over. The first amount will come over will be 2,000 units. And then based on what we're seeing, we'll start moving inventory over to Amazon as need be. And if we're nailing it, what happens, instead of ordering every quarter or every 6 months, what we'll try to do is do it on a 1.5 month or 2 month basis where we can deal with the supplier. Now, here's the trick. Here's the biggest trick. If you do this, you won't run out of stock, or it'll be very hard to do this. I work out a deal with my supplier, usually to take half of what's going over. So 2,000 units. I'll ask them to do another 1,000 units and put it into the warehouse for me. Okay. So what if you can afford it? I mean, this is great. It's already imprinted. It's already ready to go. And as your inventory is starting to go, and if it's picking up speed, guess what? It's immediate.
Have the 1,000. Yeah.
You can get it shipped over. You can get it air shipped over. You can, just take the time and, have it go over to Amazon direct by sea. It's so easy to do. And then you've got this next stage. So once you pick from there, there's a process where you're getting another 1,000 units done, and it's being put into, and it's getting put into the warehouse once you need it again. And it's just perpetual. So it's so simple to do. And you're forecasting, if you do need more, like we just went through this with some of our products. And because we expanded out into more Google ads, and because we did more Facebook, more external traffic, we thought it'll probably be another 30% in sales. So we just bumped up our forecast by 30%. And then this is just going to make things confusing. But during holiday season, so Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, November, during the holiday seasons, when you're looking at increases, that 30%, I even bump it up higher, because if it's 30% during the regular time, it'll probably be even higher during the holiday time. But anyways, that little tip about asking your supplier to put it into stock, you won't believe the difference. And I'll just give you just a quick little nugget here. I hate nuggets, but I'll give you a quick little tip. Most of the time when we negotiate, we can negotiate a very small deposit, like 20%, sometimes even lower, sometimes a bit higher, 30%, but it's already there and it's ready to go. And because I've paid for that, sometimes I pay another 10, 20, 30% when it goes to the dock, and I try to get terms. So if you can get terms with your supplier, that's going to help you loosen up some cash and afford this. And if you go back to the supplier and tell them the reason you want to do this is because this is going to be a successful item, and that all you're doing is wanting to give them success at the same time. So these are promotional dollars you're going to be able to use instead of tying it up with the manufacturer. And a lot of the times they will look at that and give you better terms. Sometimes it's tough when it's the first time around. But again, I will, if I'm confident in my market research, I will get extra put into stock. And even if it's 500 units, if I have to air 250 units, if that helps me out without going out of stock. And oh, by the way, I told you I'm going to talk about this. If this is if the 250, let's say that I have to air over, it is going to make me lose money or break even, I'll do it because I
Yes.
don't want to lose that sales history. I don't
The
want to run out
momentum
of
is more
inventory.
important.
Absolutely. Okay,
So
now that I've said that,
All right. Okay. Let's see. We've got 4 more questions.
oh, you're right, Kels, FBA Excel.io. We signed up for it, so
Yep. So the tool specifically is the logistics manager tool.
Yeah.
So I posted it here. So check it out. You could also watch the episode with Brett. It's Brett Burkow, and that's was last week. So one of our more recent episodes. So check that out. All right. Our next question. When doing search, find, bind, is it best to start with the keywords with highest search or start with the smaller search volumes first? And this is from Fatia.
yeah, I think we covered this one, but I'm gonna explain again. I mean, this is my recommendation, and I know other people out there also recommend this. But it's not like a handbook or something, because Amazon doesn't have Amazon business doesn't have handbooks, unfortunately. So yes, I recommend going with very relevant long tail keywords during your launch. And I wouldn't stop at 3. If the budget allows, I would go around 10 to a more extended period of time, and not so many a day. You need to build that history. You need to build that sales history and your product history. The way I like to say it is, this is the moment when you're telling Amazon who you are. So if you're selling on different keywords, not all the same, if you're targeting in PPC more keywords than just the main ones, and everything is tied up together like a spider web, you're telling Amazon your product is good, and it will help you in the future. It will put you in front of more eyes and more people.
okay.
And only after that, after you build that story, then you can go for higher keywords.
And I just wanted to say hi to Fatia. I'm glad that you're listening in. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Okay. And actually, we have one more from Fatia. I think this is a good question too, following up. But apart from search, find, buy, what tips do you have for new launches? Is there anything that sellers should be doing that maybe they don't know about? Is there any tips
We went
you can
through a
give?
whole list of that.
Yes, we did.
Fatia, a little earlier on. If you want to, excuse me for a sec. I don't want to, cough up in everybody's ears here. So thank God the mute button, I can find it. Anyway, yeah, Fatia, we did go through it, and there's a lot of internal Amazon tools that we can look at. There's Alina's gone through a bunch of different things as well, external traffic. So if you get a chance, just maybe check out the beginning of the episode or middle of the episode. And I know that we'll be probably putting something in the show notes as well.
Okay, great. Next one is from Claudia. For launch, which external traffic source or sources would be the best to advertise kitchen products, and how much would you spend per day? The product is not expensive, about $30. Thank you.
I would always at least test Google Ads. But for kitchen products, I would more likely look at Pinterest, because it's more women dedicated website, and it's more likely to be found. I'm not sure if this, I know a couple of years ago this was a problem. You had to be a US citizen with a US company in order to be able to do Pinterest ads. I don't know if anything changed so far. I haven't tried it in a while, but you need to look into that. So I would look into Pinterest, and then I would look into YouTube. Into YouTube, you can play a little bit with. You can play a lot if you're starting to be creative with some videos and insert some canonical links from Amazon. the tiniest little bit of traffic you get from there will help you with your ranking without even spending a lot of money on YouTube.
All right. Next question is from Ionit. Is there a limitation now that you cannot have a shipment plan to Amazon longer than 30 days? So if we ship from China to the US, we must send products to 3PL in US and then shipping plan to Amazon. Do I understand that right? Thank you in advance. Hi, Alina.
Yes, he's from Romania. Hi. I actually was planning to ask Norm this. I don't know if you've heard about this change. It's happening since April something right now, and they're saying they have a line there saying that Amazon shipments sent directly from China or I don't know other countries, so overseas to Amazon, need to be fulfilled, need to get there within 30 days. I knew this was a thing before with the pandemic, but then it worked. I mean, if the shipment lasted 40 days, it was fine if you wanted to ship.
That really doesn't make any sense, but
It
I will
doesn't, but
check.
it's
I'll
there.
check into that. I don't know, but this is a great topic to take a look at. I have a call with our Centurion League later on today at 4,
Great.
and this
Please
is
let
going to
us
be
know
one
what
of
you
the
find out.
things. Yeah. And Kelsey, remind me about this too. I'm old.
All right, I can let you know. Let me see. Okay, well, one more question, and then I think we can go to the wheel. This is from Olga. Hello, and for search find buy, is it better to have someone click on your sponsored product or organic one to get more ranking juice?
Well, from my point of view, it goes like this. If you're launching a brand new product, it doesn't have any organic ranking. So you should do PPC on those keywords so then people can find you on the sponsor position, because doing the organic thing is like going through page 20 or using some filters or whatever, which also can be done, but it's not normal. Nobody goes to search that far for a product. So my recommendation is yes, buy from sponsored, and then if you're getting to page 2, you can move to organic 3 maybe.
Okay, very good.
Okay, that's it for the questions. So thank you everyone again for sending in your comments and questions. We really appreciate it. And if you have a question, it's more than likely someone else has the same question as well. So thank you for the comments. And just a reminder, we do have the Wheel of Kelsey, hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, to enter and win up to 50 full surveys for a ranking or product research campaign. This is a value of $500. Also, we're giving a month of Centurion, which is like a private mentorship group with Norm Farrar and Tim Jordan. So take 2 people for an extra entry, or just write hashtag Wheel of Kelsey to enter. We're going to be doing that very shortly.
So Kelsey, I just saw Olga say that her product is organically on page 1. Alina, if it was on page 1, if it's organically on page 1, you would target the organic.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
Sorry, I
good.
missed that.
Yeah, I just saw it. It just popped up. So Olga, definitely. Yeah, that's what I thought. That was my answer, is to target the organic listing if you can. But you know what you were saying is 100%. If you have to scroll back 7 pages, it doesn't make sense. But if you can target it, if it's on page 1, then by all means. Yeah. Okay, so before we get to the wheel, also, how do people contact you?
Well, through my name. Here on the screen is my Facebook profile, so I always respond to messages there. And we also have azrank.com, our website, which has a contact form, very easy to fill in. Oh, thank you, Kelsey. It's on the screen now. Email us at hello@azrank.com. But any type of channel works where you find us.
Okay, very good. All right, Kelsey, we have a sponsor coming up, right? A big thank you to our sponsor, Startup Club, the largest club on Clubhouse with over 790,000 members and growing. They're one of the world's largest communities supporting the startup ecosystem, from founders to those wishing to work for a startup and everything in between. You can find them at www.startup.club for blogs, recordings, and a calendar of upcoming shows, and on the Clubhouse app. Just search Startup Club for daily shows 24/7. You can also now listen to their show, the Serial Entrepreneur Club podcast, on Apple and Spotify too. Stop by to connect, learn, and grow together. So one thing I want to talk about with startup just for a second, Alina, is I never mention it. I forget to mention it, but I do have a room on startup on Thursdays at 1 o'clock, every Thursday at 1 o'clock. And it's not just Amazon. In fact, there's very little Amazon that we talk about. We talk about e-commerce, growing your business. And if you're interested, check it out. I forget who is coming on this week.
We got Joe Rexfeld.
Oh yeah. So this, I think everybody knows Joe. And he's just a knowledge of information. Really great guy. He's been on the podcast a couple times. So he's going to be there. But we line up like top entrepreneurs, top business people, Amazon sellers, e-com sellers, and also they have, like, I guess Mr. Wonderful, from the Shark's Den was on just recently, not in my room, but in Serial Entrepreneur Room, which is at Fridays at 2. They have a lot of rooms for entrepreneurs. So if you are interested, I can tell you, 800,000 entrepreneurs can't be wrong. So just check it out. It's so cool. It's just got a different feel than most of the rooms. And I'm talking about the club, the actual club. Anyway, let's get over to the Wheel of Kelsey.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
Woo! A lot of people. You're popular. Kelsey, where are you?
Oh, there we go. All right. So if you are the winner of today's giveaway, please email k@lunchwithnorm.com. You have 48 hours to reach out to me and connect.
But yeah, a ton of entries.
A lot of entries today. And it looks like Simon is the big winner.
What?
Today.
He's not supposed to be able to enter anymore.
I know it. I thought we'd kick that guy out of here.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's that is a great prize. And Alina, thank you for coming to the podcast today. There's a lot of really great nuggets for launches today. I said that word again, didn't I?
Yeah.
And if I also hate ninja tips, so maybe I'll just say tips from now on.
Tips, yeah.
Well, okay. So thank you. I know we're going to run into each other somewhere around the world, some country, very soon. But it's been a pleasure having you on, and thank you.
Thank you for having me, and I hope we've brought some really interesting stuff to people, and looking forward to next time.
Yeah, for sure. And say hi to hubby for me.
I would.
All right. We will see you later. Okay, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed the show today. I thought it was very insightful. And, we have to do things a little bit different. We're always doing things different. And that's why it's so important to keep your ear to the ground. Wednesday, we've got a really great show. Philip Jepson. I've traveled. He's been part of our private events that we've had in the past. He's traveled last thing I think was Costa Rica with Philip. Anyways, he is the co-founder or the founder of Managed by Stats. Philip Jepson and Dannon Coleman are going to be on, and we're going to be talking about 4 key performance indicators of your Amazon business. Philip. Both of these guys are very knowledgeable, and I can't wait to have them on. All right. Where's the man, the myth, the boy?
All right. And just to Alina, who's backstage, if you want to just stick around and we can talk afterwards after the podcast ends and have just a quick talk. So stick around if you can, or if you need to get going, that's okay. But yes, thank you everyone for joining us. We had lots of viewers today. This was a popular episode
Great.
from what I could see. So
Oh, by the
welcome,
way,
everyone.
Kelsey, I just saw Simon. Yeah, it's a joke. Simon will just give you tickets to Mexico. But the Mexico trip, if you're interested, I think any listener from the Lunch with Norm podcast, it's automatic $500 discount. So just remember, if you want to go to the Mexico trip, which is happening in June, just sign up. I guess Kelsey will put the information, and you'll get $500 off. And Simon, that should cover off your airfare.
Yeah, so if you want more information on the sourcing trip, it's themexicotrip.com. That's with Tim Jordan, Norm, Amy. I'm going to be there. So if you want to meet up with me, that's the way to do it in Mexico. So that if you go to the checkout, it's Mexico VIP and you get $500 off. Yeah, it's going to be great. Looking forward to meeting people and our Beer Nation. So let me see. Don't forget to join our Facebook group, Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and eCommerce Collective. This is the name of it down below. That's where all the good stuff happens. So check that out. Also, to our Patreon listeners, we have Rachel Johnson joining us to talk about Amazon Live tomorrow. So that
you don't miss that.
That is our private guest lesson for the Patreon. So only the Patreon members get this. It's going to be great. It's all recorded too. So if you join the Patreon, you get access to all of these private guest lessons.
I can't wait for Rachel to come on the podcast. But Rachel is an ex-Amazon employee, and I met her at Prosper. She's all about Amazon Live. So it's going to be really great. So we'll have
so if you want more,
I know she's coming on. Sorry, Kels, but now I'm interrupting you because you usually interrupt me. But we have her scheduled on the podcast too, right?
Yes, I believe so. I have to double check when exactly. I think it's later on in May.
Do your job.
But I know, I'm falling behind. But as I was saying, if you want to sign up for the Patreon, you can go to the website, click on the membership tab on the website. It's just the patreon.com/lunchnorm as well. But yeah, that's it. I think we covered everything. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, then you've done your job. Well, okay, I guess. And yeah, so, Kelsey, come back and join us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Central Time or Standard Time. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And thanks for being part of the community. I say it all the time, but I mean it. We could not do this without you, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Lunch with Norm.